Approaching the next planet inhabited by intelligent beings from our past that we have must help them evolve.
Lights off, my neurotransmitter threads and eyes hide me in. Okay, people, can you come in? Flying through the fluorescent flowers. I tried to sleep while the organism was forming. Oh no, not again. Spinning spirals of air, fluff, buzz. Dark red and yellow. Gears shifting through my room with the lights off. I burnt the neurotransmitter threads and eyes hide me in a cave where my twittering stitches won't bother me anymore. Yeah, I am Sparkle Man, running through palaces as deep as I can. Hide me in a cave where my twittering
mellow blue sun.
sparkle vein palaces.
All orbited this neon desert planet. Each sun had a different purpose, but the unique chemistry's purpose in the gnome star number 7 quadrant was specifically ripe for the formation of a utopia on the planet of the gnomes.
The vultures tear themselves through fluorescent green feathers in order to hide their eyes with their claws. The skin of the Cape Canaveral skin.
Were honest enough to be trusted and loyal to the free-thinking ideas of the gnome utopia. There were certain tricks for getting into the utopian society that only took the wisest galactic wizard gnomes who knew, in order to prevent violent troublemakers from disrupting the balance of such a peaceful secret society. The elders in charge were bald, half-human, and half-aliens with wrinkly old skin.
Taste of popsicles, blue cone eyeballs.
Sat around a table of modern philosophers that was still establishing new rules by which to live most freely and efficiently.
Fell asleep within themselves in a dying tingling re-entry like blood vessels.
Far away from Zeon and close by an alternate dimension, their sector was hidden from primitive cultures and violent empires. Since non-planet Zeon colonized their near-utopian society, certain policies were influenced but modified from Zeon's ancient deserted origins of a prison colony government.
Populations rise exponentially, and the
Then it dawned on Crimson to ask himself how many past lives he had been a part of before he became Crimson Sunflower. That is,
general population control with the
that's the star crops. Obliviously flew on.
The rich can afford to exist, but it's true we only measure up.
And the licensed sergeant doctor pondered his experiment.
Just as many poor intelligent people as there are very dumb.
His spirit was recycled from centuries before on a distant world in the past of his origins. He vaguely remembers one life where he was helping alien scientists harvest promised energy crystals from the lost city of Atlantis. Here, he still felt like a prisoner on Zeon. Spaceships, too. He remembers how he telepathically connected with aliens from that lost city in another life, They could both skift and staying in the colored lights with powered electricity like energy from centuries before technologically discovered their neighbors. He remembers how he telepathically connected with the aliens, even then in a past life. Metaphysically speaking, in a lost technologically evolved city of Atlantis before, south of the thousands of centuries ago.
Decide.
Maybe that's why current journeyman Crimson Sunflower believed that there was no such thing as being too nice in a galaxy of greed and negativity. That needs to be more positive, spiritual vibrations in order to balance things out.
I can offer guidance in the right direction.
Licensed Sergeant Dr.
Cosmic connection.
We can increase the dosage
To be free.
of the psychological seed cure. It might act as a truth serum, but it could eventually drive him insane if he refuses to cooperate with the interrogation process, you see.
Selfishly, you see.
Yes, well, as I said before, Licensed Sergeant Dr. Not. Yeah. We could charge him with treason if he refuses to join the military, in which case we'll just abandon him in Zeon's desert again.
And your attitude reflects your reality.
What do you say, Glitch? That's Crimson. Why do you choose a laser sword instead of a blaster gun, Crimson? The power of the pen is mightier than the power of the sword. That's what I always say. It is of no matter. You still didn't answer the question, but if you do not fight, then you will die. Crimson. So pick up that sword and choose your destiny here in the Zeon military, or it's treason. And I'll shoot you. I don't want to kill anyone. Don't push me to my breaking point. Oh, man. If you doesn't kill you first, then I will forgive you if you're saying you're in self-defense if you kill me first. What? That doesn't make any sense. If I don't kill you myself and you defeat me in self-defense, or I must have someone else do it first. I'm the commander, that's right. But, What are you doing? You can't fire that weapon on this ship. You ricochet everywhere. Stop, I tell you, Lieutenant Commander, this is madness. All right, you fight him. What? Oh, come on, man. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I said you fight him and you die. Yeah, this sucks, but, man, this isn't what I signed up for in the military. We're supposed to be, bullshit. It's ricocheting, bouncing off the sword. What the heck do you do that, man? It's crazy. Move out of the way, Lieutenant. Hey, you tell me, I'm not messing with this dude. You don't have to ask me twice. All right. All right, Crimson, enough games. Back off, all you... You did it. Yeah, you approved yourself. All right. Crimson, stand down, or I'm a... Hey, if it doesn't kill you first, then I'll forgive him in self-defense. Sound familiar? Well,
How can I trust you now?
You should be proud to serve our star-cropped country and kneel before the Zeon Colony that protects you.
A person should not be forced to be patriotic if they do not trust the government, but kneeling is still a sign of respect.
I said bow. I said stand and put your head in front of your head. Nonsense. You'll join our military or die. Be proud of our sacrifice to protect your freedom.
As one soul and the universe meet as one.
No.
Tell the past
Fight, I command you. Get him. Fight, I tell you now. Oh, man, I'm done. Or I'll kill you myself. It's part of your training. Oh, come on, man. Oh. If you force me to kill this man, I will never be proud of that because murder is not something to be proud of. Well, I said, I command you. Do it for your country on planet Zeon or for your hippie religion. And if those against my religion and I'm not a fake hippie because of whatever. I'm not a fake hippie because hippies don't hate. I'm not a poser either. Oh, but I only fight in self-defense. Sorry, do not be provoked for your causes, which do not make sense.
traffic jam in the intergalactic light highway. Aliens are shouting.
Nobody tells a flower how to grow. Nobody ever wants to sell their soul. People don't like to feel controlled. Ignorance should be ignored if it's too bold. And ignorance leads to death. Hatred.
Get out of my way,
excuses
yo.
to build
Get out of my way, yo.
walls in your mind.
Get out of my way.
How can we live when we are bought and sold?
Get out of my way, yo.
Here's your point.
In the cosmic ozone of the intergalactic unknown.
They're having an election this year for new Omeron to be in charge of the Zeon Colony. Now that our Star Corps have finally taken over in control of the territory from the aliens. You should vote, Crimson. Well, I have to register and pay my dues, but I have no space credit money. Besides, my vote wouldn't matter as 1 in a million since I'm not a politician. I'm not an artist, and that is always being censored by politics anyway. I'm just voting for someone else to represent my opinion, who I don't even know if I can trust whether or not they can represent what my opinion is. We should make you vote and punish you for not participating. It's your right, because many valiant warriors died in order to establish a free society for us to regulate on Zeon's original penal colony. I'm urging you.
Oh, get out of my way.
Don't get me wrong.
Get out of my way.
As I said, don't get me wrong, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you Star Cops in the military, since you have such dangerous jobs and you deserve good pay for the risks you take. I'm not arguing against that. But don't expect me to believe that this colony is free. If everyone were free to do whatever they wanted at any time, then nobody would have any rights, because no one would be able to prevent the peaceful ones from being abused or taken advantage of, and absolute chaos and anarchy would destroy everything. And I think that the risks you're taking, everyone has its place, and not everyone's always cut out for competition. And competition brings out the worst in some people, and it brings out the best in others. It's just, when you force everything to be a competition, you just end up taking away several people's rights, not just the minorities, sometimes the majority. And if the majority are misled by lies, how can you trust your vote's going to represent what it really should in the majority? I believe if everyone were, really enlightened, I already have no freedom and no rights because I have no money. People will never listen to me, and they'll still dismiss me as a part of a flawed system, even when I do get a job, no matter what it is in. I know that the money is the only real power and way to financial freedom through the illusion of materialistic security on the Zeon Colony. If it was truly a free society, then I'd be able to make a full-time living with my talents alone. But the hypocrisy of society's double standards is frustrating, because people assume that I should have to die in order to be recognized. I pay my dues, get a college degree, and then they assume I have some sort of pretentious entitlement attitude when they tell me that I have the right to make more money for kind of putting in my time and earning that degree and learning everything I need to do for it. And I get out and I don't have the right to expect to get paid any more than the average person that doesn't have a degree. No, then they blame me for feeling entitled when they're the ones that made me feel entitled in the first place. Is enough to make anyone go insane. What is a politician going to do in order to create jobs for artists, poets, musicians, philosophers? When am I going to see a commercial that's actually going to help me make money instead of tricking me into paying them for potentially limited opportunity anyway? If you don't vote, then nobody will want to listen to your opinion. If I do vote, people still won't necessarily want to listen to my opinion either. Oh, yeah.
decide. You.
Making everything into a competition. Forget, not everything has to be a competition in order to enjoy life. Even if I don't vote, I still have a right to complain. Well, I can't afford to exist anymore because of society's limiting standards, no matter how much or how hard I work for your system.
That's arguable also. You may complain, but the people may not want to listen anymore. That's true.
Everyone has a right to exist. Although your schools teach the value of classical art is rarely valued as a skill of modern people that are talented and seriously dedicated to creating better art or creating new genres, almost like being devoted to a religion. It takes just as much skill and sometimes even more patience to create a detailed portrait that looks realistic as it does to sell merchandise with one of Zeon's all too common conventional jobs to mass produce his old traditional art with the computer, but then again, it costs less with the computer, and it's easier to mass produce and cut the costs. Take away talent, limited art. Artists are forced to compete with a machine. It's ridiculous. It's a skill that should be rewarded as rare. Anyone can package their products and wrap them up in cellophane through monotonous work chains, but it only takes a rarely valuable individual to create music or magical art that's original and that's never been seen before. So this rare skill should be rewarded even more. By supply and demand, if you look at it that way. I've worked plenty of jobs. None of the conventional jobs ever paid me enough to get it by anyway. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I went to college in order to be able to earn more money like they told me I should with a degree. So, yes, sir, indeed. That's what they tell me, but it all ends up being just another hypocritical lie. Any and every other job that's ever hired me starts off a minimum wage and fires me before I can make enough more than this. No matter how much effort I put forth. You know, then if you want benefits, they can't afford to add you to the benefits. It's not enough. It's never comprehensive. There's always some other corporation raising the cost of living exponentially. The limited sources that I never can afford to take it on anything less than nothing. That's why I had over 27 different jobs in the past. I'm getting closer to my age and jobs than no stranger to hard work. My college degree alone proves how much of a diligent and devoted worker I am. I just know the truth, and I'm worth more than 8 credits an hour. You should trust me on that one.
We'll give you. Those aren't the real issues. We have the power to prove the citizenship of aliens on this Zeon Colony.
This wasn't even your calling in the first place. The native aliens here, you get treated like prisoners. And then you bring your own people in and act like they have the rights to control every other citizen.
I don't know about that.
The economy isn't the problem. It's greedy corporations that keep raising the cost of living are. If everyone left, where to fend for themselves and create their own ways of living, we could create a utopian society based on skills instead of just money.
We can't invent the whole system. I don't have time for that.
Why then do the most physically demanding labor jobs still pay the lowest amounts an hour, whereas the office jobs with the corporate CEOs get the most, even if they don't necessarily own the company? They're trading our lives like it's stock investment. They want to make more money. Are the people who just raise the cost of living for their own personal greed are the real problem. They cause a problem when they raise the cost of living but refuse to pay their hardest workers enough to survive. If only the strongest survive, then why are the most physically intensive labor jobs still paying less? The physical labor is torture when it wears out the human body and spirit over time, overworked and underpaid. Unless the person can learn to live within their means, especially when the monetary reward isn't enough to survive on alone anyways, no matter how much they make, depending on the rising circumstances, demands in society. Jobs that require more physical labor should pay more than desk jobs, since physical labor is more strenuous and painful in terms of decreasing a person's lifespan. We could only find a way to keep the cost of living the same while keeping the population and demand for resources stable. Then we'd be able to control our environment through moderation, and that would be the healthy solution.
No, that's outrageous. How dare you question our competitive methods when it jeopardizes our profits? The ones who make the decisions earn more because they have much more of a responsibility to keep everything running smoothly.
Yes, you see, I've heard that excuse before. That's the problem with politics. Every politician is controlled by invested interests through the corporations. If the corporate business owners and everything continue to raise the cost of living exponentially, then what will stop the greed from enslaving us to the point where nobody can afford to raise the price of existence anymore? Politicians are puppets of invested interests like plastic people at the mercy of a materialistic neighborhood. We live in a land of hypocrisy. That's exactly why my friends and I wanted to form our own utopian colony on the planet of the gnomes for a chance to live a free life surviving from ideas instead of currency alone. It's an atrocity that political candidates can spend billions on advertising for themselves just so they can insult each other more and more. The other candidate who is forced to compete against them by the system instead of talking about the real issues and what they could do to help poor people find better jobs. Or overworked people that are working too much. Be able to have the freedom to enjoy their life again. I mean, that money that they're spending could be going somewhere better to help charities in poverty. If we could eliminate the judgment of individuals by limited perception of another person, maybe we could learn to live in peace. There's no need for judging individuals by their social class, limiting them to the preconceived notion of judgment of any rank, position, privilege, or limited judgment is a form of prejudice. Negativity gets in the way of progress. Nothing is more powerful than good standing up to evil by peacefully making this world a better place. Can we help others if we can't help ourselves because you've raised the rates? Can we take it upon ourselves, to really judge an individual to the point of condemning them when everyone has the capability of good and evil within them? Can religion really teach morals? Whether it's easier for people to feel free by not listening. In order to create a peaceful utopian society, you would have to accept people for who they are by rewarding their potential with better opportunities for survival and not limit them to judgment affected by superficial monetary value. Yeah.
Okay, then how would you hire or fire a person, Crimson? You have to make a decision in a judgment call in order to do something like that, don't you?
What? Glitch is chiming in on the argument.
Yeah, I mean, how would you be able to make a decision without judgment?
That's a good question, Glitch. Well, you wanted to know about the Gnome Utopia? Here's my chance to tell you. We created a better society, a more productive one based on ideas instead of money, where the incentive to be productive came from a willingness to improve the quality of life for everyone. People work better together when they're not forced to compete against one another, and they're more motivated when they're working to improve their own environments as well, instead of the cause of another corporation's greed. But without judgment, there is no need for competition. When people share, there is no need for greed. When the basic necessities are made available to everyone at a steady, affordable price, there is no conflict. People work together for the common good, not because they have to, but because they want to accomplish more, since they will all benefit from the rewards in a more collaborative effort if it's in their best interests.
Shut up, everyone, shut. That's ridiculous. Hey, that's outrageous. I tell you, you're an idealistic dreamer, Crimson. Not everyone, you can't trust everyone to not, take advantage of the weak ones.
Is it really that crazy? Am I the only one who is sick and tired of my whole life being controlled by corporations? I am not a piece of property. I'm worth more than minimum wage number. Why should I, or even a few more, why should I have to listen to them all the time when they don't listen to me? Don't you ever wonder if the bureaucracies and Starcop corporations you work for have more control over your life than you do? The answer to the politicians is Zeon, and I've never met a politician who cares more about health or your well-being than making money or your They pretend like they can make a great deal of promises for things they have no control over. Even if they make it mandatory for companies to provide healthcare benefits to workers and hazard pay for the armed Starcop forces, it still costs the workers more than they can afford to pay for themselves and others who are too disabled to work, while the greedy corporations reserve the right to raise the cost of living anyway. There's more to life than work. Even work is necessary in moderation. I can't enjoy life if I'm expected to work all the time, and they've made everything so expensive.
Then businesses couldn't afford to hire people, and populations would demand more out of our limited resources. If you'd had it your way.
Listen, we founded the planet of the gnomes to eliminate judgment, prejudice, inhumanity, and suffering, so people could finally be treated equally, and there would be no more power struggles for selfish control. We wanted to set up a new barter system so the conservative political parties wouldn't raise the cost of things out of greed, making everyone compete against each other over limited resources, while liberal political parties wouldn't lower the cost of things to the point where others would have to work more to pay for those who are disabled or unable to work. We didn't want anyone taking advantage of a system for free either. We wanted to keep the hypothetical costs of necessities the same in order to make it easier for everyone to exist. But we weren't going to become hypocritical tyrants, so we didn't outlaw commodities. If people wanted to trade currency in a small banking community instead of skills for their economic reasons, then everyone was free to determine how to value their economic systems until the barter balanced out. It seemed too hypocritical to go back entirely to financial system of government, though. So we based our barter system on trading ideas for a purpose in society. Some people devoted themselves to building houses, and others devoted themselves to making art. There are delegates that decided what needed to be done statistically based on the needs of the population. Artists traded their work for a place to live, and everyone was happy as long as everybody served some kind of purpose to help the community stay alive and thrive. If people were disabled or could only do less, they still wanted to contribute to society. And how long does the system work? I haven't been back to check their progress since they've been established. That I can remember. That's why we're still looking. I can't seem to remember where the long-lost hidden planet of the gnomes is. I told you that before. No matter how much you interrogate me, it's just. There's no way I could be expected to remember that the metaphysical realm is, even with the map, it's another dimension. They would not let us get there. I do not have control over who is allowed granted entrance in such a peaceful heavenly community. I've told you this. I haven't gone back to check their progress since we've established that I can't remember where the hidden planet, the long-lost Gnome Star 7 sector is, but what's wrong with keeping prices stable? I'd say the state of your planet Zeon Colony is more important than the long-lost elusive planet of the gnomes. What if we use alternative renewable resources for manufacturing? What if we flew more environmentally friendly and less costly space cars that ran on the newly discovered tetrahydrocannabinol fuel? Well, that's illegal. It's only illegal because corporations can't make more money that way by using their more expensive products, cutting costs and demonizing competition with false propaganda. You should really help, Crimson. Your voice could make a difference if only you joined us and participated in the way our system works. I'm an artist, not a politician, although I suffer the consequences. Besides, I only vote if I could actually affect the issues and choose which things to change that would make a difference, and I could be skilled enough to do. Show me a politician who cares about the rights of an artist to make a living enough to reward their talents, or someone who has struggled to survive as much as me, at least, and then I'll be able to relate. My point is that if you show me a politician who cares more about the well-being of others, especially the least fortunate, than themselves making money, then I'll consider voting if I trust that they're not only after power or selfish materialistic gain. Show me someone who's seriously devoted more to an important cause rather than the corporation's popularity contest. Show me someone who's honest. Seriously. Yeah, and I'll vote for them. It would be a nice, refreshing change to meet a politician who cares more about people than money. Show me a way to create better conditions for poets, musicians, artists, philosophers, and other talented people to live in, as well as the handicapped and unfortunate in this world, without having to settle for something less that doesn't recognize their best skills, just so they can serve a purpose where they're most useful. And then I'll vote for that politician who is trying to protect our rights and improve the range of our opportunities. If we let everybody use their talents for the best of their abilities, and we actually rewarded them enough resources to survive with their God-given talents, then we could have a better society that flourishes with an rich culture. That's all we're trying to do in Planet of the Gnomes Utopian Society. That was my philosophy. Gnome Star 7 sector. Since you cannot measure the value of a person's soul monetarily, then we shouldn't measure how much a person is worth materialistically either. The spiritual value of a human soul is infinite. Speaking of that long-lost colony full of fugitives, Crimson, now that we're on the subject, you promised you'd reveal its location. If you will not tell us, then we'll be forced to use the brain scanner. Besides, you've already tried that, and it didn't work. My subconscious is a very elusive place. I'm not even sure that I control that information anymore. Well, you said you could have lucid dreams closer to... We have a right to know where your brain has been, Crimson. What? No, you don't. It's my brain. It's a violation of my rights. Once again, I'm not a piece of property. Aliens can read my mind. Why don't you ask them? Well... You know very well. That's out of our jurisdiction. You see, alien minds are out of my power. They're not in my control. We have not figured out how to telepathically connect with alien minds. That is why you are such a crucial piece of the... Doctor, you should not let him know. That's why I already know him. That's why you're such a crucial link to this scientific experiment. We can learn how to read your mind. We can learn how to you're the key to discovering how to read alien minds. We were hoping you'd help us out. You have out here on the race. It is the patriotic thing to do, after all, since finding and scanning the mind of an alien would be next to impossible anyhow without you. There are several escaped fugitives and alien criminals that Zeon's Confederacy has declared the top priority. It is our job to find him. That's what they pay us for, so I don't question that, Crimson. I've already told you everything I know. We'll see about that. I'm going to ask you one last time. Where? Bluffing, it'll blow up in the force field compartment. One last hit and it should restore our force field. Don't do that, Commander. No, please, no. What is that? What does that say? I think it's the alarm system, sir. It was at this precise moment that a red alarm light began blinking to indicate an urgent transmission. Unknown to the Star Cops until now, Gecko's spaceship had landed on the surface of planet Zeon. It was spotted by another Star Cop as Gecko, the alien leader, and his gang of Kadeems suddenly appeared at a dimensional gate with their invisible force field worn off. They must have been low on fuel and desperate to escape capture on the war on planet Zeon because they shot and killed the dimensional gateway guards. Answer that transmission, I tell you. It's an order. Yes, sir. It's, the alien Lizardquat's Gecko ship has been spotted, sir. We're gonna have to redirect this ship. Alright. Search for the planet of the gnomes is over now. Turn the ship around. We have to find that alien gangster immediately. It's top priority. Number one on my morning most wanted list. Domain and Primero. We're gonna get him. Yes, sir. All pilots, get up here immediately. Yes, I'm in the back station. Here's that. Turn the ship around. Gecko and Omain have returned to planet Zeon.
in them. God is a light, as we define the spiritual energy right. Control everything out of sight. Close your eyes and teleport yourself to the place where the soul and the universe meet as one. Soul and the universe meet as one. Soul and the universe meet as one. Sin within. Tell the past things vision.
Gecko, we've made it. Beware of Starcop, dimensional gate guards. There. Yes, attack!
Hey, it's Gecko and O'Main. Get them, Star Cops. They're wanted criminals all over the galaxy.
Oh, shut up!
Traffic jam in the
I can't believe we're under attack by alien terrorists this time. Star Cops, get in, quickly!
Get out of my way, yo! Get out of my way, yo! Get out of my way, yo!
Gecko, we better get out of here before the Star Cops outnumber us.
Intergalactic unknown.
You're close by.
You don't show around the get away, yo! And in the cosmic
Hurry up and teleport aboard your ship, Gecko.
aliens turning back a dam.
Hurry up and take off without me. Get to the teleportation gate quickly, O'Main, before they get us.
Planet of unknown. Sending on you. Planet of unknown.
Open up the teleportation gateway. Got to leave in the galactic teleportation gateway now. Quickly. Before they find us. Communication gate has fallen.